You are progressing. You are learning, building, growing, blooming from within. And Spirit wants to give you a little help on the way. So in today's reading, you will find out more on how to progress and how to get support. Let's begin by setting an intention while you have the opportunity to meditate on the cards. Welcome. Crafting the sacred space. I'm connecting into my sacred self and the wisdom of my sacred self through all existing lifetimes, both the past, the present, and the future coming together in this now moment. Connecting deeper into my spirit guides, my ancestors, my beloved dead, and my own subconscious terrain. Calling forth the spirit guides, the ancestors, and the beloved dead of this community. Connecting deeper into the essence of Ma Kali, asking her to assist me to protect and guard this space and my vessel, as well as to act as a messenger between the spirit guides, the ancestors, the beloved dead of this community, and myself. Raising and enhancing my spiritual abilities and my mediumship abilities to give accurate messages to this community. I set the intention to give clarity, truth, and wisdom through these messages, and that I channel these messages in a clear, concise, loving, and impactful way, and in the true mark of the manifestor energy type, in order to initiate the consciousness of this community. I pray that these messages are for the highest good of all beings and Earth in its entirety. Let it be so. Thank you very much. Let's begin the readings. Message number 1. Today we are taking a look at the progress you are making in some area of your life where you probably have set a certain goal or have a vision or a dream, desire to be. So we will take a look at the area of focus that this progress is happening in, that Spirit wants to talk about. The support that is accessible in you reaching for this, where you'll need to stretch yourself, getting out of your comfort zone. Your best resource that you can draw upon. And finally, a message of love on the way, on the path to get there. So we'll see. We will begin with the Darkwood Tarot for the area of focus. So I'm hearing that you will receive 2 cards and they're sort of going together. Ho, 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 ho. We had the Death in reverse. And the Tower. So I will just continue to lay out the cards. So the next question, the support accessible for you. For making more or swifter or more aligned progress, perhaps more healthy progress. we have the fairy bee. And the support doesn't need to be a person necessarily. And where you need to stretch yourself, Ubuntu. Your best resource. Quetzalcoatl and the Priestess of Time. And as for message of love on the way, Knot of Isis. So you have 2 cards for the area of focus, because there are 2 areas here that go together for you. And it has to do with teamwork. So you had the Death card in reverse, as well as the Tower. And the Death card represents an area of relationship and self-love. And the Tower represents the area of business, work, creative projects. And when we melt these 2 together, we get teamwork. And we have 2 major arcana cards here. So this is very influential. This has a major influence in your life at this time. Major influence. It almost feels destined or fated. It has that sort of element to it, most certainly. So this is people that you do work with or that you do business with. So let's see. The support that is accessible for you is the fairy bee. Let me tap into this for a moment. The support that is accessible is to have a optimistic and friendly outlook on life and other people. It still means that you can be discerning with people, because I do feel that this is calling in the sort of ideal teammate or team worker where you will do great things together. And I think that this is also why this feels destined, because perhaps this isn't necessarily a very specific goal that you have written down, but this is destined for you. This is something that you're supposed to step into. A very sacred partnership where you will be creating very influential things together. And it's not even, for some cases, I do feel here that perhaps you are just friends and not necessarily co-workers, but you inspire each other's work. So there's an element of friendship and work intertwined together. And the support that is already here to help you is to have a optimistic viewpoint on these predestined events, on life, believing that you deserve the best, hoping for the best, visualizing for the best, and also enjoying sweet moments, because there's something here in you being able to be in a more relaxed, happy state is where you are most likely to draw in this person. And I think that sort of speaks for itself. When we meet a person who feels peaceful, relaxed, happy, perhaps inspiring, it's someone that we like to be around. So it's putting yourself in that position, and I feel like there's a gust of wind helping you to get into that. So life will probably be sweet to you in order to help you get into that state, so you can attract this person, so that you can meet and form a bond. And I'm wondering if for some of you this is a person who already is in your life, not at close hand. Perhaps it's a friend's friend, someone you have met at a party, someone that you're familiar with but not friends with just yet. So this is not close circle yet. So where you will need to stretch yourself, we have Ubuntu. Compassion for others. So this is where you will need to open your heart to new relationship. And if this is a stretch for you, I am guessing that you have been through quite a bit of hardship when it comes to relationships. So it doesn't perhaps necessarily come easy to open up the heart, be vulnerable, be honest, being emotional, showing another human being your heart, your love, your compassion. But there's a word they want me to say, expose. It's like exposing your heart. And I'm not saying without fear. Perhaps with fear, but also with trust. Those emotions can exist at the same time, I promise you. Feeling that it is frightening, but in the long run, you choose to trust. You decide to trust. So that is the area where it might feel a bit uncomfortable to open yourself up to that degree, to feel into the other person's emotional terrain and letting it sink in and showing them yours. I almost wanted to say to some extent. So I do feel like there is trepidation there, and it's okay. Just decide to move through it anyway. Now, your best resource is Quetzalcoatl and the Priestess of Time. The time has come, the time to act is now. I do feel two messages with this one. one of them being that you have the fierceness required. And I'm referring to the sort of fierceness where you are fearlessly jumping in with your heart and just giving it all you've got, because there's nothing to lose sort of feeling. And the other one is that time is on your side, spirit is on your side, destiny is on your side. So things are being woven together. So the greatest strength here is that you don't really have to think about this. Like how will this come together? What sort of rooms do I need to be in? Because this will come together. I'm hearing sort of December at the latest. And I feel like in January, you are really cementing your bonds. We had the Wheel of Fortune in reverse at the bottom of this deck, another major arcana card. This is a very important destined relationship. It's a spiritual contract. In a positive sense, you're supposed to do work together, directly or indirectly. And what I do feel from this Wheel of Fortune is that it's happening soon. Not perhaps straight away, but soon. So there is a little bit of delay from perhaps when I'm publishing this video, but I do feel December at the latest is where you will meet this person, and in January the bond is stronger. So, a message of love on the way. We have the Knot of Isis. I'm going to read this card for you. Part of your spiritual destiny involves a special relationship with the goddess. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connection to the goddess. Lean on your guides. If it should feel heavy at times from anxiety, I don't know. I don't know what sort of emotions you are moving through when receiving this message. But if there is some sort of fear creeping in exposing yourself and showing your vulnerability, come back home to your guides, especially the feminine ones, the goddess, Mother Earth, and find connection and solace in that presence, because that will also help you get into a more relaxed, peaceful state of being that will help you in connecting deeper with this important connection. And that is all for today's reading. What an exciting time you have ahead of you. I thank you so very much for connecting in, and I do hope to see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye. Message number 2. So we are taking a look at today where you are making some progress in a specific area of your life where you have perhaps set some goals for yourself. We'll see what this is about. So we are asking the area of focus for this. The support that is accessible in obtaining this goal, where you will need to stretch yourself, what your best resource is at this time, and we will finish this reading off with a message of love on the way. So we are beginning with the area of focus, where you are progressing. The Knight of Wands. So this has to do with work, business, or some sort of project, creative goal. Let's see. The support accessible for you in obtaining this, making even more progress. Tangibility. Where you need to stretch yourself, moving out of your comfort zone. Buho. Your best resource at this time to draw upon. Pose brave flight. This looks like you're trying to do something a bit new or unfamiliar. Perhaps changing career path, or starting a business, or creating a new project that you don't have any previous experience in, launching something new, perhaps even a website, and not having any previous experience on creating websites. That's just an example. So a message of love, we have the Queen of Heaven. So as I said, this is about a career or business or a creative project, some sort of what did I write? Yeah, project. And you will know your specific situation, but it feels like something that you feel very passionate about, because we have the Knight of Wands. And this is a long-term goal that you have. So hopefully you have an idea of what this is by now. So let's move on. There's something else. There's something with the bottom card with the King of Swords here. And I'm feeling one of your guides coming through. I feel like they're saying that this is something that you need to do for yourself. For your self-esteem, your self-confidence, for you believing in yourself. There's something that you need to do for yourself to strengthen yourself in some way, and sort of, how should I put this in a correct way? To strengthen your capacity to believe in yourself more. Like, I just feel like this is something that you need to do to see how far you can go, or at least have tried this out, not regretting anything at sort of your deathbed. Okay, so support accessible, we have tangibility. What comes to mind with this? Because it also says make your dreams real. Is creating some sort of vision board and or mind map. And the vision board is a place where you can put images of your desired destination, your desired and sort of end goal. And this is something that you go back to day after day after day to look at, having it as your home screen on all your devices, having it printed out on your refrigerator. You need to see this every day, preferably several times a day, for you to step into thinking that this is achievable and possible, and also creating a sort of mind map. The mind map part is more so scribbling out your thought processes. So what needs to be done and by whom, where can you take help, just to get it out and to get a visual sort of overview of what's necessary. So perhaps you want to become a lawyer, I don't know, and then mapping out what sort of school do you want to go to, what kind of money do you need to have, do you need to move, and what does the house market look like, where you need to move, and things like that. Just write it all out and vision board it all out. That's what's coming to my mind here. That will really support you and help you in achieving this. So where you need to stretch yourself is, we have Boohoo, transform the way you see. There's something here about changing your perspective on how you look at this, and not necessarily having this as your end goal. Like, once I'm done with this, I can be satisfied. But there's something else. It's like your guides want you to stretch higher. So after this, it's of course important to celebrate your accomplishments and feeling satisfaction with that and resting that for a while. But there's something here about this is not your end destination. And I think this is quite common to think that we're supposed to do one thing for the rest of for our lives. I think that's quite common. And this is not what we are working with here with this. This is a stepping stone, a part of the path. So it's about looking at it differently, in a way where you follow your excitement. You follow it through, but you follow the excitement without planning your whole life out, having this in mind, if you catch my drift. So, your best resource here is Pose Brave Flight. You will not let fear stop you this time. So your best resource is your I'm receiving your gut instincts. Like you have this capacity to dive in, and perhaps there are consequences, but you have the ability to deal with them. I'm receiving that you're very brave, that you have this sort of gusto, I think it's called. You just face things head on. And so there is already a certain belief in yourself that you can face challenges and you can overcome challenges. So this is your greatest asset in whatever you are embarking on or progressing on here. Which also means that you can stretch more. You can stretch your goals and your aspirations more. Now, a message of love on the way. We have Queen of Heaven. I will read this card for you. The Queen of Heaven, the divine empress of the skies, acknowledges your feminine authority now as a man or a woman. You have a life path of spiritual leadership to bring qualities of mercy, compassion, and wisdom into the world. So your guides are saying here that they are, how should I say this? These goals, these ambitions, they are in here because you're supposed to do something great. And you're supposed to fill a gap. And in a sense, lead the way, in a sense. And that will vary between all of you. But there's a boldness to you that I really connect into. And the desires have been put there for you to achieve great things. And that is also why it's accompanied with great boldness, because you're supposed to have that resource to proceed to new heights and to be in a position of importance one way or another. And my dear group, number 2, that is all for today's reading. I thank you so very much for connecting in. It was a joy, it was a delight, and I do hope to see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye. Message number 3. Today we are taking a look at what you are progressing in, and we have some questions here. The area of focus for what you're progressing with, the support that is accessible for you to reach higher levels, to progress in a healthy way, where you'll need to stretch yourself, getting out of your comfort zone, your best resource at this time to grow and progress more. And finally, a message of love on the way. And I'm feeling a bit nervous connecting into this message. So this feels important to you. Very important. Let's see what this is about. Feels very important. You can sense some trepidation here as well, connecting in with this message. Hmm. The Lovers. So when I was shuffling, I did receive the word relationship in my mind, but I intended every card that is connected to air to be about mental health and thought patterns. So this is sort of the how to put this, your relationship to relationships, if that makes sense. How you perceive relationships, how you respond to them. So it's not the relationships per se, but it's how you relate to them, if that makes sense, in your mind. Yeah, let's move on. So now we will draw a card for the support accessible for you. The unending sadness of looking back. Oops. Where you need to stretch yourself. Doable. Your best resource to draw upon at this time. Pose Brave Flight. I do feel that you could have come from group number 1 or number 2 as well, because we were speaking about relationships in group number 1 and we had Pose Brave Flight in group number 2. And a message of love on the way. Divine Sisterhood. This is definitely about trusting in friendship again. Or a romantic partner, a romantic partnership. But these are about close connections. People that you depend on, that you get support on, that you give support to, that you give love to. The type of relationship that you call on when it's both stormy and just sunshine in your life, rain and sunshine. That's the sort of relationship. I'm just feeling into this a bit because it's a mind thing. So we'll get to that. So the area of focus, we had the Lovers here. This is a major influence in your life, a major influence. We have a major arcana card. This is very important to you, especially at this time. Perhaps you've had quite difficult experiences with either friendships or lovers or both. Having a hard time trusting people in relationships. there are definitely some bad experiences in here. And we have the Queen of Wands at the bottom. This gives to me the feeling of being burned and being hardened as a result of that, and perhaps not letting people in as much. This feels like a shadow energy to me, how she's presented in this card and how I see this today. Like, don't you dare come near me if you're going to pull shit on me. I'm sorry, that's really sad actually. So that's the area of focus, your relation to relationship. Now, the support accessible to you, we have the unending sadness of looking back. So there are some gemstones to be found in reflecting on the experiences that you've had with people where things went awry, and you can do your best to analyze these relationships. The key component to the dynamic between you, what didn't work out, how you met in the first place, and how it went. I did say that, how it went bad. Where you lost the sense of trust and love, sort of from both sides. And perhaps this is an area of great grief for you. And so this is also telling you to let out the emotions. Because I feel like this can be a very cathartic experience. To sit with the experiences of the past and doing your very best to move on from them by releasing them. So in this sense, this is actually support, because it says here, replaying the past. This is of help to you when understanding relationship dynamics, because remember, this is sort of thought patterns, dynamics. Why do we become attracted to certain people? What's the pattern? What's the unhealthy pattern? What's the emotional codependency that we are trying to release ourselves from? Okay. Now, the area where you need to stretch yourself, we have doable. The key is within your grasp. It's to look at your shadows. It's to look at the past, perhaps even going back to childhood memories. It's doing perhaps a bit painful work here and reliving situations, reliving emotions. But here's where the key is. And in the process, you will also be released of heavy, heavy emotional, mental energy. So this is very important for you, because I'm so excited for you, because I do feel like you're just on the precipice on experiencing relationships in a new way. And it's like you need to be prepared, so you're not reliving old patterns, if that makes sense. Being free of burdens from the past. Is there something else? I feel like there is a beloved dead coming through for communication. And they are overshowering me with love, warmth, and support. They're saying something at the extent of, we were always here even when you were sad, lonely, perhaps even depressed, grieving. They were always there, supporting you through these cracking moments, and you can rely upon them once more. So you have that support to count on as well. So this is probably a person that you have known that is now on the other side. It feels like a very supportive energy. They don't have to have been a supportive person necessarily in life, but they absolutely are now in the afterlife. So, your best resource, Poe's Brave Flight. It's this unending search for love. This feels very, very intense, like you are searching to experience love. It feels like you haven't quite experienced it the way you are longing for just yet. Like there's some sort of element missing. It feels like you're looking for a very true and a very deep connection, whether it be friendship or romantic partner, but something very, very true, something very, very deep, where you can expose your soul, essentially. And there's a fearlessness to your love, to your... how should I put this? To your desire to connect. And there's a fierce truth within you also. I feel like you have learned to really speak the truth through this process, whatever you have been moving through. To speak up, to speak about how you feel, or you are learning how to do that. To ask for help, to set boundaries, to get angry, whatever it takes, essentially. Yes, this is the essence of it all. You are progressing into coming into healthy relationship. The way that it needs to be expressed to feel healthy for you. And I do feel like you have a very powerful, beautiful, fierce kind of love that is unwavering. And whomever is crossing your path, being invited into your embrace, is a very lucky person. Because I feel like you have the capacity for a very unyielding love and support. Like you are a person that you can really, really, really count on. And I think that is that is why it hurts so much. It hurts so much when you feel let down, because you are giving so much of yourself, so much of your love. But this is your best resource. This is your great strength. It's also strength in that not everyone are sort of up to this sort of relationship, but they are easily, how should I put this? They are easily sorted out. They will not cross your path that easily. It's like you have this piercing energy, and the people that can handle it and that love it and that wants it will start to come your way. Now, a message of love on the way. Divine sisterhood. Letting the divine feminine nourish you now into new relationships, collaborations, community, and friendships is very wise. There are many souls with whom you have spiritual contracts decided upon before you were born who wish to help you and whom you can help too, as you grow together in peace and light and wisdom. And I'm feeling for some of you, quite a lot of you, that female connections could have been especially difficult for you to handle, essentially. And there is also something in here where these relationships that were frankly quite ended up being quite hurtful were, what did it say? Whom you had spiritual contracts with, decided upon before you were born, to help you get into a specific desire of true, deep, honest connection, because it is through these experiences that you discern who is in your tribe, essentially. And that is all for today's reading. Wow, what an intense one. I'm really wishing you the best in finding your people. I thank you so very much for connecting in here, and I do hope to see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.